How do you know if you're buying a home that's going to be a long-term mistake? Before you say yes to the address, you need to know if it's true love or just a crush. My name's John Dean. I'm a realtor here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. My family of five and I relocated here a little over 8 years ago. And on this channel, I talk about relocating to Fort Wayne, buying a home and selling homes, and what the market's doing in this area. I also talk about home maintenance and how to take care of your home. If you want to know more about these things, be sure to follow my videos. Before I jump into these top 3 tips, I'm curious to know, how many homes have you owned? If you're looking to buy your first home, or if this is your second, third, or so on, put a house emoji in the comments. One for each home that you have purchased before. And if you're a first-time home buyer, throw a number 1 by that house. Know your non-negotiable love list. Usually this really focuses down on price and location. But once you have that narrowed down, you need to get a little bit wider. Think outside the box as to how far is too far. We really want to live within this zip code, but if we can't find the right house in that area, we're willing to go a little bit further. And what does that look like? You also want to make sure you have your bottom dollar. Don't go above that. Stick to that. Be sure to check out the HOA fees as well as taxes and homeowners insurance. This all boils down to how much you're going to be paying monthly. Make sure that you have your other non-negotiables written down. How many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, and how many garage spaces you need. These are super important things to know. You also need to make sure that you have your wish list. These are things that you would love to have in a home, but you'd be okay if they're not there. Down in the description, I have actually placed a list that you can download yourself to write out those non-negotiable love languages that you need in a home, and then your wish list. This way you have a well-made plan for when you go house hunting. I have helped so many people who have been looking for homes and they had their non-negotiable list, and we would be looking at a home and it met almost everything on the list. And then they found out there were other people interested in it and they wanted to put an offer in. We ended up with our offer on the table with multiple people. However, sometimes we wouldn't get the house, and it was actually a relief because we realized that this really wasn't the right house for them. I always encourage you, take the time to find the right house. The timing will work out in the end. You may think you're missing out on a great house that could have been perfect for you, but you never know until you really find the right house. You'll feel it in your gut. So stick to those love languages of those must-haves, what you want in a house. Trust me, you can never go wrong. You don't want to end up buying a house that you will regret 2 to 3 years from now. Don't let makeup fool you. A house may look beautiful on the outside and you go in and it has so many of the features that you love. However, there are several rooms that have paint colors that you just absolutely hate. Maybe it has flooring in the living room and the kitchen that are really worn down or just not your style. If you don't have the budget to get these repaired or replaced before you move in, I definitely recommend passing on a house. You have to think about, there are other things that are going to cost money, and if you don't have the budget for these right away, it's going to come back to bite you in the end. You may end up with a home that you really like. However, there are a lot of cosmetic features that you wish you could have changed, but it just wasn't in the budget up front. And there were other expenses that happened. I've had this happen for people before, and 2 to 3 years later, they still have the things that are kind of driving them crazy. Don't get stuck with a home that has things that you don't like about it that you can't fix right up front. Talk about fixing things. Be sure you check the bones before you offer the ring. You need to know all of the bones of the house. Use an experienced realtor like myself and an inspector. That is one key thing. The house may look beautiful. All the paint is great. The flooring, all of the fixtures in the house, the lights, all of the countertops, everything is just what you wanted. 3 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, whatever the case may be. But you need to make sure that the roof isn't too old. Maybe it's on its last leg. Maybe it needs a ton of repairs. What about the HVAC? Let's say everything else is perfect, but the HVAC is 25 years old and hasn't been serviced in over 5 years. You don't want to buy a home that needs major repairs within the first 2 years if you don't have the budget for it. If you're worried about the financial side of things and you own your own home and you're getting ready to sell, but you don't want to leave money on the table, I have a video talking about all of that so that you never leave valuable equity that you have on the table. Now, if you have other questions about whether or not a home is a great fit for you or not, be sure to text me. I would love to answer your questions and help figure out the next steps for you in the home buying or selling process.